So I do want to say
This is
welcome
rough.
back. Welcome back.
Yes. Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh,
Yeah.
and we did rebrand. Yeah,
Yes.
we did.
Oh, this is
Thank
some
you for
news.
bringing that
Thank
up.
you,
Thank
Tony,
you.
in
Yeah.
the background for that news.
We have some background guests. They respectfully declined being on the pod today.
But you know what? That's okay.
That's okay. It's okay. Respectfully declined.
Respectfully.
No, nobody said you're a player hater. Come on now.
No, but we did do a rebrand. So if anyone's listening right now who does follow the Instagram account,
Yep.
we made a new logo. We have a new logo.
Yeah.
We rebranded the logo.
A new logo has been made. T-shirts on the way soon. I mean, if you want a Tone Deaf T-shirt, Tony, I know you want.
Yes, we actually will soon have merch available
Why'd
for
you
sale.
look at me like
believe
that?
it or not.
What? No. Tony's looking at me like I'm a side bitch or something.
Dude, hey Tony.
Tony's looking at
that's
me
very
like
disrespectful.
Tony's
to your
looking at me
roommate.
like I'm a side bitch, and I just asked for an extra serving at the fucking family gathering he brought me to.
Dude, what's wrong with
Can I
asking
get it?
for an extra serving?
Can I get another plate of mashed potatoes? And that's how he just looked at me. He was like, "Bitch, the fuck?"
Dude, wait. Why would you ask it? Why would you ask for more mashed potatoes, dude? Everybody knows when you go back for seconds, it's for mac and cheese.
True.
True.
Also, ribs.
You know what?
Nobody said Thanksgiving. I said
All he said was family gathering.
family gathering. I'm talking like a backyard barbecue right
Dude,
now.
Everybody knows you're not gonna do ribs. You can do like pulled pork.
Pulled pork. I mean, some
Do
people
pulled pork
do ribs.
Sammy? Little pulled pork Sammy?
I grab it like a third and a fourth pulled pork Sammy.
Oh fuck, dude!
No, he's pulling out the audibles right now.
Dude, hey, I love pulled pork. I get pulled pork at like Qdoba on burritos. Pulled pork burritos.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, it's
I'm
divine.
a straight chicken. I'm chicken.
Pulled pork.
All right, good try. Let me
It's
show
all good.
you
No,
up.
you know what?
Well,
Hey,
hold on. Let me go.
I'm not a great orator. So
Wait,
it's fine.
hey. What are you, Orson Welles?
I said
Fucking-
orator. I said orator.
Yeah, you really fucking Orson Welles. Today our oration is brought to you by Orson Welles.
Oh yeah.
Was
What
this the
book did Orson?
1940s?
What book did Orson Welles write?
He wrote a book.
You said Orson Welles, so you must know who Orson Welles is.
Yeah, fucking Citizen Kane.
What? That's a movie.
Yeah, Orson Welles.
Everybody knows that guy wrote.
Say
Say pulled pork.
Pull
again,
pork. All right. Let me try again. Pull pork. That's hard. That's a
Dude,
good.
everybody
hey, I'll give you, that's a good
knows
tongue
that
twister.
Orson Welles wrote.
He wrote a book?
fucking- What?
My beautiful twisted dark.
Oh, you know what? Hey, you know what? I apologize for that jab I just took.
Yeah.
He did produce Citizen Kane, so I apologize.
Yeah, you fucking dumbass. He starred and directed Citizen
Yeah,
Kane.
you know what? Hey, you know what? My bad, homie.
Yeah.
My
that's-
bad, homie.
You know,
That's all good.
yeah.
It's all good. I'm a little out of it today, man.
You know, former film major, by the way.
I
had to
you
sit
know
through
what?
that shit ass movie. So,
Is it a shit movie?
well, let me
'Cause
break
it's-
it. Let
I
me
feel
let me
like-
break it. Let me break it down
I
for
feel
you.
like Citizen Kane is widely known as one of like the best movies
Right,
ever.
it's
though.
widely regarded as one of the best movies ever made. This is a ballpark. It's 1940s, but I want to ballpark.
I think it
and
was
say,
50s.
No, it was 40s.
You sure? Let me look that-
I want to ballpark say 41 or 47 or something.
Let me look
Maybe
this up.
49. I don't know.
Actually, you know what? Hey, I also again apologize because it was 1941.
The movie?
The movie 1941.
I mean,
dude, hey,
I'm
yo,
just
tone
saying.
deaf listeners, I'm fucking up today.
Hey, I'm just saying. I had to sit through this. Okay,
How was it though? Did you actually like it? Was it actually shit or was it actually
So, let me break it down for you.
good? Let me break it down for you right quick.
Tried to watch it the first time. She was ass.
Yeah.
About, not even a halfway through, quarter through.
Yeah.
I rewound it and I said, "Okay, we gonna get drunk to this because it was
Yeah, for real.
so
For real.
slow." Citizen Kane is so. Now look, if you're a hardcore, and you get at me and say, talking shit about Citizen Kane, that movie is
real.
ass.
Yeah.
The biggest point of that movie is dude's got a fucking sled. He's got a snow sled in his backyard as a little kid. Like, shut the fuck up. All right. Citizen Kane is an ass movie. All right. Them motherfuckers
Respectfully, it's ass.
Respectfully, they made that shit in 1941.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers ain't even know about
All right.
TikTok.
So, as we start most of these episodes, I do want to ask you because
Yeah.
I will say probably about the first 2 minutes of this episode so far have been kind of what you would call gobbledygook.
As Leno Kelly would call it, brain dump.
Brain dump. This is a brain
Right.
dump. This is the podcast that Leno Kelly would hate.
Exactly.
Okay, so
And all I want is Len's approval.
right. I do want to
Len,
ask
if you ever
though,
find this, just know that I love you, man.
yeah, Len
respectfully.
O'Kelly's, the Golden Throat is kind of the shit.
No, he is.
So I do want to ask you though.
Yeah.
What have you been listening to lately?
Great question.
What's
So
your most
I'll-
recently listened to?
I'll tell you exactly what I've been listening to.
Please tell me. Please
So-
tell the fans, all 22 of them on Instagram. Please tell
It's
them.
25, dude.
Oh shit, we kind of big
Come on,
time.
bro.
We kind of big
Yeah,
time. We almost at 30.
We hit the quarter mark of 100, dude.
As Tony is reaching into the jar of peanut butter covered pretzels.
It's
Peanut butter filled
the
pretzels. Those are so good.
That's
Those are
right.
really good though.
The jar
Hey.
of never turning back.
Those of you who are looking for a new top tier snack, peanut butter filled pretzels.
But you got to get them from Sam's Club.
Yes.
The big cylindrical jar.
Sam's Club. Shout out my homeboy
Cylindrical.
Jeremy Adams.
Cylindrical's a word?
Wait, what did he say?
Cylindrical. I said cylindrical. He said it's not a word. Is that a word? Cylindrical?
That's gotta be. But I will say,
Cylindrical. It's like
I
in
will
the shape
say,
of a cylinder.
You mentioned Sam's Club.
Yes.
I want to give a quick shout out to my homeboy Jeremy Adams.
Yes.
Optical manager at Sam's Club
Jackson?
in Jackson, Michigan.
Oh, all right. We'll do with that because I
Also
love
known-
Sam's Club in Jackson.
That's
so.
also known as
Jeremy
my
Adams.
girlfriend's father.
Why'd you put your heel on my cellular phone, sir?
That was an accident.
That-
I want to
Wait, your dad's the cylindrical manager at
no.
Sam's Club?
No. Optical manager.
Optical of the cylindricals.
Yes. So
Respectfully.
Respectfully,
the manager.
He manages
Respectfully.
the optical department.
So what they see. He's the overseer.
So like the little section in Sam's Club where they
optical
sell.
means see.
Hey,
I mean,
so like the little Sam's Club section where they sell glasses and do eye exams.
yeah.
He's like the boss.
So he's like Superstore.
He's the boss.
Remember how Superstore had that little eyeglass department?
He's
Yes.
the motherfucking Don.
Oh, he's the Don Dada
He's
of
the
eyeglasses.
optical Don.
Okay.
No, he's kind of the shit. He's pretty sweet.
Shout
I
out,
like
what's
that
his
guy.
name?
Oh, I love my dad.
Jeremy Adams.
Shout out Jeremy Adams.
Shout out
We love
Jeremy
Jeremy
Adams.
Adams.
He's a great dude. Great dude.
But let me go into what I've been listening. I mean, Jack Case. I've been on
Dude,
big Jack
okay,
Case,
listen,
man.
everyone, you
Big
need
Jack
to
Case.
listen to Jack Case.
You have to. And
He's
if
so
you
good.
don't,
So good.
I mean, listen to the EP Mixed Emotions and then the other EP
Was it
with Travis
My
Barker.
Favorite Nightmares?
It's
Is that what
something
called?
Nightmares.
My something
You
Nightmares?
pull that up, but it's
I'm
Jack
gonna pull
Case.
this up.
Just
So
listen
Jack,
to Jack
listen,
Case,
so
man.
Jack Case, this guy. So he used to do rap.
Yeah,
used to do
and I
rap.
didn't know that till you told me that the other day.
Yeah. So he used to do rap, but now he does pop punk. And of course, if you're doing pop punk, you're doing it with Travis Barker.
Of course, you got to.
Yeah. So he put out this recent EP, My Favorite Nightmares,
My favorite night,
featuring
yeah.
Travis Barker on drums.
4 songs,
Yep.
great 4 songs.
Yeah. Great music. So, dude, we're
And then
in it.
his other EP, Mixed Emotions, too.
Dude, we really are in the midst of a pop punk revival. I know
is.
I
Yeah, it
swear
is a
we've talked
revival.
about this on almost every episode, but
Yeah.
it's kind of really hard to ignore because we really are. I just
No,
wrote a
and then the root of all of it is Travis because
Exactly. We
Travis literally does everything in the revival. I mean, he's working with
Exactly.
every new up and coming
Exactly.
pop punk artist.
I mean,
so.
Avril Lavigne just signed
Yeah.
to DTA Records.
Shout out
So,
DTA Records, and her album came out
Yeah,
about a week or so ago,
dude, I actually
February
just
25th.
believe it or not,
She
I
had a new
actually
album.
just wrote a column, an article for the Lanthorn here at Grand Valley.
Shout out to Lanthorn.
Shout out
What are your thoughts on
Lanthorn.
Lanthorn?
Shout out the student-run newspaper at
That's right.
the Lanthorn here at Grand Valley. I just wrote a column about the pop punk revival. You should go read it.
Oh,
After
really?
this. It's pretty good. I think it's pretty good.
check it out.
I mean, that sounds pretty conceited given that I wrote it.
Yeah, it sounds like you're like
I'm kind of self-promoting here. It's a
Yeah, you
shameless
are.
plug.
You
It's
know.
an absolute shameless plug. No, but I wrote a piece, a quick little news piece about the pop punk revival, and I talked about how pop punk is kind of coming back to the mainstream, but it has a little bit of a different sound, and it is
it
it's
is a
very
little
hip-
different. Yeah,
It's very hip hop influenced, you know.
yeah.
You get a lot
Well,
of electronic drum beats, a
and-
lot of trap beats, and then
And a lot of it comes from Travis because when Travis is making the beats, he works a lot with drum pads.
exactly.
And he
right,
and he I mean
exactly.
he played with drumsticks. He plays them
Yes.
manually on the
So-
drum pads, but
Yeah, exactly.
it's a lot of like electronic influence, but
Right.
at the same time, like the actual instrument
Yeah.
is involved in it too.
Nowadays, the what you would call, I guess, the cookie cutter pop punk formula is trap beats and electronic drums during the verse. And
Yeah, and then the chorus is
and
when
then
you bring
the chorus
band
is when
in
the
and
band
yep.
comes in, right?
Which I like that. You know,
Yeah, it's kind of it's a cool.
it's
contrast.
different. It's different too.
Right. It's a cool contrast because like you and I are obviously huge pop punk fans.
Yeah.
But we're also really big hip hop fans. like on the
No,
side.
it's like the perfect blend too.
And in a way,
because
it's like yeah.
it's a way that, and I feel like I've said this before, is like it will bring in fans that love hip hop
Exactly.
because it's like the same kind of thing with the beats.
Exactly.
But and then also it brings in that instrumental factor, which I was watching MGK interview that he did with some dude. It was on some British network.
BBC. Probably
No,
BBC.
it wasn't BBC. It was a little
It wasn't
smaller than
BBC?
BBC. No, but it was a few days ago, and he was talking about how like when he started like Tickets to My Downfall, he was trying to bring back like the instrumental thing because he said he didn't feel like there was enough instruments. He thought people all went all electronic and
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah, this one
absolutely.
did away with bands, and I kind of
Absolutely.
felt the same way too because like when we were in high school, it's like I didn't know any bands that were like nobody was putting out music with actual
The
like
fact
real
that-
instruments in
The
it.
fact that Imagine Dragons was in the running for Best Rock Act at the Grammys.
Well,
pissed-
and we could go
pissed
on
me
and
off.
on. We could go on and on about best rock album and best rock categories at the Grammys over the last maybe even 10 years. Just
I wouldn't say
because
10
it's
years,
not,
but definitely 5. But it's definitely the last 5 years.
it's been a while because there hasn't
I know.
like that what they put in that category is not rock music 95% of the time.
Yeah,
You know, it's like
it's been very unfortunate because
well, and like I love rock music, and then
I
what
do too.
what
I
they
do
what
so-
they
I-
categorize as rock nowadays.
it's just not.
It's not, and it sucks and it's sad kind of because
it does make me upset.
it's almost it's like anything that's not pop or rap, but you know it's got like some kind of like a groove to it. They're gonna put in the rock category.
Well, the problem
you know?
is because I feel like, and I will say I will credit this to this pop punk revival we're kind of in. It's kind of, and I wrote about this in the piece that I had in the Lanthorn. It's kind of sort of bringing rock back to the mainstream, but I feel like because rock has been out of the mainstream for so long, who you would consider rock artists have been so desperate to get back into that place that they're trying to bring in elements from what's popular, but they've been doing it in a way that feels very forced and very tacky.
yeah.
Which is why
well,
which is why you get artists like Imagine Dragons in the Grammy nods for best rock performance or best rock album because there's no new good rock coming out because any rock that's coming out is you hear a lot of very pop or hip hop elements, but it's not done in a way that's tasteful. But I will say in this new pop punk revival,
it's done in a way that's catchy too.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. In this new revival, we're seeing artists like MGK and Jaden and Ian Dior.
Avril,
and
glad
just-
she's back. Cause,
Yeah, and Josiah.
I mean, she has like a original sound too.
Right, but what I'm saying is like all these new artists they're bringing in pop and hip hop in a way that we haven't heard before. They're doing it in a way that it feels tasteful and sounds. It doesn't sound forced.
It's authentic.
You know,
yeah.
it's authentic and it's done in a way where it blends well. It doesn't feel like they're just trying to appeal to a large audience.
Well, and
they're
it's
doing it in a
not-
way that sounds more like they're just trying to appeal to their influences.
Yeah, and it's not like
and that's what makes it better than a lot of the new rock we've been seeing in the last 5 years. It sounds like it's like you said, authentic.
It's
a lot
not
more
rock.
authentic.
I mean, and if you look at who they've nominated for best rock album, I mean, you've had Coldplay in the mix for best rock album. And Coldplay's not rock at all.
They're so not
I
rock.
mean, the album that the hit song Yellow,
right,
that was nominated for I think best rock album at the Grammys.
or rock performance or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
something.
Yeah,
And it's like that's not rock music, and I think
it's really not.
We had gotten to a point where there wasn't any really, and this is what I remember from a few years ago. Was like there was no music that had actual live instruments, and of course there was, but
there was
in
really
the
kind of a
mainstream,
period.
there wasn't like stuff that had actual live instruments.
There was really kind of a period where I guess what you would consider "quote unquote" guitar music was dead. It wasn't. It wasn't something that was
nothing
heard.
like that was in the mainstream, and that's how you ended up with like bands like Coldplay and Imagine Dragons, like you said,
And you know what?
ended up with best rock album
right,
nominations.
and you know what? And I will say, as much as like I'm not a fan of those bands, I'm not necessarily discrediting them.
No, I mean it's good music. I just don't
No.
think it fits into the rock
Exactly,
category.
exactly.
And I think for a while we
'Cause
had like alternative music, which is what I would put Imagine Dragons and Coldplay into. Didn't have it. I know you like. I like
I would-
Imagine Dragons too, but I'm just saying I don't think I don't think they had a category at that time.
Right.
So anything alternative would get placed into rock music.
Right, because like I don't want to sit here and try to sound like we're gatekeeping.
No, I'm not saying that like there's not rock influence or anything. I just don't think you classify that as rock music.
Exactly.
I think the Grammys need to acknowledge alternative as a category and have an alternative album.
But I will say
a category.
I will say that is probably tough because when you truly get down to the essence of it, alternative is a very broad term. Alternative basically in its essence only means whatever is not popular, what's not conventional.
And they need a category for something that is not like, and I think we kind of put ourselves in a hole for painting out like maybe 4 or 5 like main categories, and I think that's the biggest problem is we've dug ourselves in this hole where it's like pop, rap, rock, R&B and all that. We dug ourselves in a hole instead of like we should have respective categories, maybe an alternative or this kind of alternative.
Exactly.
And that's where I think the Grammys get kind of watered down as they try to place all these people into these certain boxes.
Right, exactly.
When they don't fit. And that's like when Tyler dropped Igor.
Right.
Which was an alternative experimental album.
It was very much experimental hip hop for sure.
And they put him right into the rap category and he won. But then he said he felt like it was a backhanded compliment
because he didn't want it to be rap.
Yeah, he didn't want it to. It was experimental.
Right, exactly.
And he was trying to try something different, but they put him right into rap.
Dude,
it's like we need like these expansive categories in the Grammys because, especially nowadays, music is not watered down to all these specific genres.
Exactly. Yeah, very much. So.
We have all these different like experimental. There's alternative rock, alternative pop, alternative hip hop.
Exactly.
We need many of these categories to break stuff down.
Dude, how crazy is that this is now the 3rd episode we've recorded where we just shit on the Grammys.
Fuck the Grammys,
Fuck
dude.
the Grammys.
I fucking hate the Grammys.
Fuck the Grammys. The Grammys could be so great. I respect the Grammys.
They could be.
I respect the recording academy.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
How many Bon Iver songs have you listened to?
I will say a few back when I had SiriusXM and I would listen to the station Alternative Nation. They would play a lot of Bon Iver, and you know what? It was good. It was good. But I would not say it's the best fucking thing I've ever heard.
Okay, you want to know how many fucking
Grammys they've been nominated for?
Yeah, Bon Iver's a dude. He has 2 Grammy wins and fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 10 nominations and 2 wins. Who the fuck is Bon Iver?
Bon Iver's good. I'm not denying how good Bon Iver is.
Let me ask my counsel.
But it's not like the best fucking thing ever.
Never heard of fucking Bon Iver.
Our boy
and he's being nominated in the same Album of the Year categories as fucking Beyonce, Jay-Z.
I'm gonna be honest. Fuck Beyonce. You know why I say fuck Beyonce?
Beyonce is beautiful and talented.
Do you know why I say fuck Beyonce?
Why?
I'm gonna explain why I say that.
Why?
I actually wrote about this in the Lanthorn a few weeks ago.
We need to start catching up on Mr. Rutan's articles in the Lanthorn.
For those of you who don't know,
I also don't read the Lanthorn, so when you write
should
one,
read my articles, man. My columns.
You should probably send me a link because I will not go out of my way to read the Lanthorn. Okay.
Dude, shameless self plug here, but so I wrote about this. So
talk about it.
I would say about 2 weeks ago, I wrote about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame came out with their nominees for this year's ballot.
Right.
For this year's inductees.
Eminem isn't Duran Duran in it or something.
Yeah, it's like Eminem, Duran Duran, Tribe Called Quest, Rage Against the Machine.
Hell yeah.
So it's like some good nominees.
Well, before you get into it, how many do they let in?
I can't remember the exact number.
3 or
I can't remember the exact number, but the ballot came out for the nominees.
Is it okay? Is it all fan vote? Is it fan vote that gets it in?
I think the nominees it's fan vote, but then who they induct is based on a certain committee.
Is there a panel?
It's like a panel.
So it's kind of like the NBA All-Star game kind of.
Right. So here's the thing. So I talked about this actually in my article that I wrote about the nominees and like what I thought about the list and I have some beef with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a whole because certain artists who are extremely important to the rock genre have been left out.
Burps into the mic.
Yeah, right.
I'll keep that in mind. It's great.
Anyways, so what I found out actually is that Beyonce. This is why I say fuck Beyonce.
Okay.
She's not getting inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but she's gonna apparently soon. She's gonna be getting her own exhibit. in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh.
And this is one of
I know we've had this conversation a few
this
times
is one
before.
of the this is some of the beef that I have with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is
Right.
like you're celebrating artists.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You're-
I'll
you're-
let I'll
You're
let you finish.
celebrating artists who have absolutely nearly nothing to do with the genre.
Right.
And as you're doing that, you're completely disregarding bands who are so important to the genre.
Can I ask you something?
Yes, absolutely.
Who are some of the, in your opinion, most notable that aren't in it that have qualified?
So I will say this happens a lot in when it to the metal in the genre of metal, which
It doesn't get any credit.
well, it's super important to rock because it.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not
can-
trying
yeah,
to cut
it's
you off,
fine.
but like
This is the episode. This is
no,
the episode where
it's-
Garrett
it's
just
like-
interrupts me all the
no,
time.
it's just like it's since we're talking about it, it's popping in my head.
No,
like,
you're fine. You're fine.
Is Metallica in it?
Yeah,
Or-
Metallica got inducted. In
okay,
like
okay.
2009.
That's all. That was my only question. All right, keep going. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, anyways, what I was saying about metal. So, metal is super important to rock and roll as a genre because it was an evolution of rock. It was a version of rock that was harder and faster and like more. I just like aggressive.
Yeah.
It was an evolution of rock, so it's very important to. It's very important to rock in the sense that it grew rock and it brought rock to a wider audience.
Yeah.
And some of metal's most important bands have been nominated numerous times, have been on the ballot for a long time, but have never actually gotten in. Two of those bands being Judas Priest and Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden's not in there?
No. So these are two bands who literally pioneered hard rock and heavy metal.
No,
in the
I know
early to
them through
late
my mom.
1980s. Judas Priest is on the ballot again this year. They've been nominated for. They've been eligible. Put it this way, they've been eligible for induction for probably 25 years.
Is Iron Maiden on this year's ballot?
No. Judas Priest is, but they've been eligible for induction for about 25 years. But yet,
You're shitting me.
But yet, before them, and again,
Well, isn't Iron Maiden's like a mainstay, like a staple
easy.
of
So
like,
is Judas Priest.
Yeah.
You would not have bands like Metallica, Pantera, Megadeth, huge metal
love
bands,
Pantera.
without bands like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. You wouldn't have
You're
them.
kidding. They're
You
not
wouldn't
in the
have
Rock
them.
and Roll Hall of Fame?
No, they're not. And this is the thing. I get so confused, and I wrote about this in the article, is that they celebrate so many artists that have nothing to do with the genre and yet leave out so many artists who are so important. Judas Priest, as I'm talking about, a pioneer. Like, they brought heavy metal to the masses in the early 80s. And yet you have LL Cool J inducted 20 years before they're still not in. It's 2022, and Judas Priest is not in, but LL Cool J is. What? Because he sampled some rock tracks on a handful of songs? And again,
Yeah.
I'm not even discrediting.
I know.
I'm not even
I mean,
discrediting
it's the Rock
LL
and
Cool
Roll
J.
Hall of Fame.
And
I think the first justifiable rap act to get in, which was I want to say is Run DMC, which I believe was the first in 2009.
Right.
They were the first rap act.
You know what? I want to say LL Cool J was inducted before they were.
What year was he?
I'm gonna look this up real quick. I'm
I
gonna be a little Jamie, and I'm gonna pull this up.
Pull it up, because I think DMC was inducted in 2009. They were, but I think they were the first. I don't know for sure, but I want to say they were.
So it looks like wait.
Cool J's in the Rock and Roll Hall. I mean, Cool J.
Which again, I'm not discrediting.
Cool J deserves. I mean, Cool J. But then
I
it also
like
like
LL Cool J.
it also
He's a legend.
it also kind of like breaks down what is your definition
Okay,
of the
you
rock
were
and-
right. The LL Cool J was not inducted until 2016.
Yeah, Run DMC was the first rap act
Right,
inducted
you're right,
into,
you're right. I apologize
into
for
the
that.
Rock and Roll
I
Hall of Fame,
apologize.
and that was 2009. And even then, it was like, oh damn, they like we're putting rappers in here now,
And the thing is,
which
it's like
which has led the way for what we're doing now. And Eminem's in there,
Tribe
and
Called Quest. A Tribe Called Quest.
Jay Z got in there a
Jay-Z's
couple
in.
years ago.
Jay
Jay Z was in a couple years ago. I don't.
Right.
Is Dr. Dre in there? I don't.
NWA
NWA's in there.
got in
Yeah.
a few years ago.
NWA. I remember I was watching that. But yeah, I mean DMC. Right. I mean DMC, of course, because
I love Run
DMC. And Run DMC has a lot of rock influence, and of course
out,
they did stuff with Aerosmith.
Quick shout out to my pops, Trevor Rutan, who loves Run DMC.
Yeah, shout out Trev.
Shout out Papa T.
The guy who's always loving our show on the radio.
Papa T.
Tone Deaf Radio on Whale Radio, Radio
He might
FX
be our
app,
number one fan.
WhaleRadio.net. He might be.
He might be our number one fan.
But listen to our radio show.
He used to call into the request line when the two of us were on WLSX The X. He would call into the request line, and I featured him on our show. I was talking about Grammy stubs, and he called in, and I featured him and said, "Oh yeah, Trevor Rutan from Leslie, Michigan."
Hell yeah!
Yeah, it was great.
Did I tell you about the one time when you were sick with your tonsils?
Yeah.
And my mom called.
Oh, did your mom call?
No, my mom called in. She found somehow on the internet she found the station number.
Really?
And she called me while it was like songs were playing, so I was just sitting there.
I kind of like the fact that she just found it on the internet and didn't even ask you for it.
Yeah, no, she didn't say anything
didn't
to
even
me.
feature it.
No, and the station phone rings and I answer it. She goes, I said, "Hello." She goes, "Is this Mick G?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "This is Mick G's mother." I said,
"This is Mick G's mom."
I was like,
Mama Mick G.
I was like, "Oh fuck, am I impersonating somebody named Mick G right now? Am I about to get?" She goes, "This is your mom." I said, "Oh hey mom, what's up?" I was like, "You just gave me a fucking heart attack. I thought I was in trouble."
Christ.
I was like, "Jesus."
That's insane.
No, that was funny though. She tried to call. I think she called me once when we were at the X.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, because she always listens to it too. So
Yeah, shout out to family members. You guys really be backing us
you
up.
are the mainstay.
You are the backbone of our radio show.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's just and really, if anyone
listening, and I just before, like, if we keep going, but like, it's what we were talking about the other day. It's like at that point, just make it a music hall of fame,
right? And
it's just if you're gonna keep adding people in it from different genres, and I get rap is in it because rap does have a lot of rock influences, but when you add so many rappers into it, just make it a music hall of fame.
Right. And
because eventually, as times go on, they're going to start adding more people from different genres.
Exactly, yeah, right.
And it's not even going to be the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame anymore.
Right, and this is what, so if you or anyone listening does go and listen to, or no, how do I say listen to? This is a late night when, by the way, it's like 1 a.m. as we're recording this.
And
Or
also,
I don't even know.
we're having a couple. We're having a good time.
A couple of waters and apple juices.
A couple waters and juices, and we're having a good time.
Yeah, we're having a great time. But I will say, so for anyone who goes and actually reads the article that I wrote, this is something that I actually touched on, was I can understand why they include non-rock artists, because when you truly do look at rock as a genre, it's definitely lent itself to other genres, and people have picked up off of it and used parts of it. But I will say that
it needs to be a select few.
Well, not even that, but they would fix their credibility issue and this whole issue that we have with them if they simply just rebranded. If they just called themselves the American Music Hall of Fame, I would have no issue with it. Yeah, but the fact that they are lending themselves and they are championing themselves as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that's the problem I have.
And look,
when you call yourself the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then you have the audacity to induct and celebrate non-rock artists as you then leave out extremely important players, that's when I have an issue. When you induct LL Cool J and then not induct Judas Priest or Iron Maiden or even fucking Motorhead, like
rest in peace,
like big time rock and heavy metal artists.
To play the game.
That's when I have a problem. Because it's like it's almost as if you're turning your back on the genre and then celebrating those who have nothing to do with the genre.
Yeah, and I think the big thing for me, it was like when they inducted Jay-Z,
which again,
I love Jay-Z.
Which I would have no problem with if they were the American Music Hall of Fame. But they're not. They're the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Jay-Z's a legend. I just don't know what rock and roll has to do with Jay-Z's career.
I don't know what Jay-Z's career has to do with rock and roll.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the inverse. It's like it doesn't make any sense.
And it seems more like it's leaning towards like the Music Hall of Fame.
Which again, I would be fine with. But the fact that they are branding themselves as the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is what pisses me off. They're sitting here saying, oh yeah, we're the fucking Rock Hall of Fame. We're the Rock Hall, dude.
And you got all these.
And we're gonna go ahead and fucking bring in LL Cool J.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're gonna leave out Judas Priest. We're gonna leave out that band that
I can't believe Iron Maiden's not in it.
We're gonna leave out bands that fucking pioneered the genre in the '80s, and we're gonna bring in this dude that said "Mama knock ya," like Mama said "knock you out."
That song's fucking hard though.
It does go hard.
Do not talk shit about Mama said knock you out.
I'm not
dude.
talking shit about it.
No,
That's
don't.
the thing. That's the thing. I wouldn't be. I'm not talking shit about it.
See, I'm full on board though for LL Cool J, for being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because LL Cool J was a fucking rock star. LL Cool J was one of the first dudes to come out and say, "Fuck the police. I'm me. I'm doing my shit."
Which is
Listen
fine.
to the I'm Bad album.
Which is fine.
Aww. Nobody can rap.
Fucking
love LL Cool
again,
J.
I keep repeating myself, but that's really what it is. It's the fact that
I mean, but he falls into like. Do you know who all the like rappers that are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I mean, we kind of already named them all.
Run DMC,
Run DMC,
NWA, LL Cool J,
are the
Jay-Z.
Are the Beastie Boys?
Beastie Boys are in there.
Beastie
But
Boys
Beastie
are
Boys are like more rock.
I will say,
too.
but I will say, Beastie Boys pulled from rock way more than any of those guys did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously they use it in their music more than anybody else did.
But again, I keep repeating myself. Which, so, for those of you listening, I apologize.
Broken record over here, jeez Louise.
But I can't stress enough the fact that it's like the fact that you're championing artists who either have nothing to do or very little to do, who pulled from the genre.
Yeah, no, that's the root of the whole conversation.
But the fact that they're like ignoring and not inducting some of the genre's most important.
Well,
players.
and what I was going to ask you is this Duran Duran's first year of eligibility, or they've had it for a few years?
I honestly don't know for sure. I may have I may have mentioned it in the article, but you know what? I wrote it like 3 weeks ago, and even then I don't remember. So but like, and that's really what it boils down to. It's just like, it's not even the fact that they're inducting certain artists. It's that they're inducting certain artists and then at the same time branding themselves as the Rock Hall.
No,
that's what it is.
I mean,
if you would just say, no, we're the American Music Hall of Fame, I would have no problem with it. I really wouldn't. But the fact that you're calling yourself the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then you're bringing in those type of artists, and then yet leaving out a certain other type of artist,
so
that's what becomes hypocritical to me. That's what becomes so.
I mean, and they are starting to bring in, like, I mean, Tina Turner got inducted last year.
Right, like I have zero problem. Like, I love Eminem. I love A Tribe Called Quest.
Basically the whole root of the conversation is being just rename it the Music Hall of Fame. That's
it's
what the
really
whole
just
root
what
of the
they're
conversation
representing themselves as.
Yeah.
Like I just said,
it's just not rock and roll anymore.
Right.
It's just,
I love Eminem. I love Tribe Called Quest. I love Duran Duran. Like I love a lot of the artists on their nominees list for this year.
They all deserve to be in one category, not defined by a genre, right?
They deserve to be celebrated as musical legends.
Yes.
But
you do know
some do not deserve to be celebrated as
the rock and roll
greats.
No, yeah, that's the whole root.
That's the root of the issue.
And I want to end this on just saying that the Foo Fighters did get inducted last year. So give me a high five.
Fuck yeah, hell yeah, Foo Fighters. Hell yeah, Foo Fighters. Who, by the way, I think we should segue into this. This is a great segue.
We don't have much time left.
They just put out a movie.
They did. What is the name of the movie? Tell people to check it out.
Studio 666.
Streaming on.
I don't know where it's streaming. It just came out in theaters.
Just
so
look for it.
It's probably not even streaming yet.
Google it.
But definitely Google it. So
Google it.
It's great. Basically, the plot.
Do that penguin walk, nephew. Yeah, that's right.
Basically, the plot of the movie is that they are recording an album in a haunted house. Dave Grohl gets possessed, and they have to deal with that. He kills everyone or whatever.
They just gotta handle it.
Yeah. So definitely go watch that. Do you know what I'm gonna go watch here Saturday night?
What?
The new Batman movie.
Oh, is it out? Is it out this weekend?
It's out today.
Ooh, shit! I didn't
Tonight,
even know.
Tonight at midnight.
And I still feel bad about it. I never got to go see Jackass Forever. I never went to the theaters.
I know, which is so unfortunate because we have
But
featured.
I will. It will be out on streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus. If you have Paramount Plus, Jackass Forever. If you haven't seen it yet,
Paramount Plus.
I am bumming it off someone. I will not say who, but I'm bumming it off someone, and I I will watch it in the next couple of weeks.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I do want to go see that new Batman. I'll probably go see it with the good old boy Hunter Montroy. Shout
Yeah,
out
I'm
Hunter
actually going to
Montroy.
go see it with the fam Saturday night.
And also, if you check out the Tone Deaf Instagram at what's the at?
It's
on-
just the the app or the
no the
Insta-
at on Instagram.
Oh,
what's
I
our
want to
page?
say it's the Tone Deaf Pod.
The Tone Deaf Pod. I
The
believe it is the Tone Deaf Pod.
Deaf Pod.
We just came out with a new logo. We're gonna be
Yeah,
doing
we
T-shirts
rebranded.
if you want a
We
T-shirt.
rebranded. We're gonna have merch for sale here soon.
Yeah, I mean, if you want one, you probably know us personally. So just send us a text or an email.
We only have about 25 followers, so it's probably not a big deal.
If you want one, just get at us.
Do that penguin walk, bro. Look at you. You're wobbling. You're having a great
penguin
time.
walking. She's ready for the Batman movie.
Are
She's
you ready?
penguin
Are you
walking
ready to
for
go
the
see
Batman
Robert
movie.
Pattinson? She loves Robert. Tell us
how much do you love
Robert
Robert
Pattinson.
No.
No, she don't
She
want
does love Robert Pattinson. It is true. It is
believe
very
it.
true.
But thank you for tuning back in. I mean, Tone Deaf is back. We had a rough couple of weeks.
And this was definitely a very sloppy episode.
I mean, but I bet it sounds great. I mean,
Yeah.
we were just,
Listen, if you listen to this episode in particular, we love you because we know you're a fucking true fan.
we love you.
You're a
We love
fucking
anybody that
true-ass
listens
fan.
to this show. I mean,
Yeah, but we do need to wrap it up. It's going to be a short episode, but it's a great episode. But I will say we do
short
need to wrap
episode.
it up.
I'm about to piss myself.
I do
So,
need to piss really
we got to
bad.
piss. We're gonna do a dual piss. We're gonna
So-
sword fight on the toilet.
Yes. So listen, hey, go to hell. It's been real.
Go to hell. Tell Dave Grohl we said hi in hell.
Yes, please,
and,
please.
We love you.
Yes,
We
follow
love
us on
you.
Instagram at the Tone Deaf Pod.
Tone Deaf
Email
Pod.
us if you have requests for songs on our radio show
Yes,
or
yes,
topics for the podcast. It's at the tonedeafpod@gmail.com.
Yes, and the radio show is Friday mornings, 10 a.m. to noon.
We got a new promo coming out. It's
We
gonna
do
be
have a new
great.
promo coming out that is pretty gas. We are on the Radio FX app. You just search up
Yes,
Whale
yes,
Radio,
yes.
or you go to whaleradio.net and just find us directly. I
Yes.
mean, 10 a.m. to noon on Fridays,
Yes.
Tone Deaf Radio.
If you listen, we love you. Keep listening. Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Tell your dad. Tell your uncle. Tell your grandma. Tell
Hey,
everyone.
and
Tell
your-
everyone.
And your stepmom for
And
me
your
personally.
stepmom. Stepbro.
Manimal.
Manimal, what are you doing? That's a little inside joke, by the way.
All right, little
But yes, go to hell. It's been real. Thank you for listening.
Love you guys.
And we will see you next time. See you later.
Peace.